watching Valley Sports, the home of the Brewers and Bucks.
Brewers baseball on Valley Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold. Welcome back to American Family Fields of Phoenix and Maryvale, where the Los Angeles Dodgers are in town facing the Milwaukee Brewers, coming off of a win yesterday against the Padres. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the ballpark with Bill Schroeder and Sophia Minter. Vinny Rotino's here as well. Jeff Levering with you. Got another full house and rock the Brewers. They can always guarantee on their catcher, William Contreras. He's been there, it feels like, almost every day in spring training and trying to build on what was an awesome year last year.
And it was a really good year, not only defensively, where he really improved quite a bit. I mean, he came over to the Brewers from the Atlanta Braves. Question mark on the defense, but we didn't see any of that. He was outstanding. The offense was there as well. Almost hit 290 and came up with some big hits. William Contreras at the top of that batting order. Outstanding work by him. You can see the way he's able to command the strike zone. Very rarely does he pull the baseball, but he started to pull the baseball as the season went on. His ability to go to the opposite field, outstanding. And that's where most of his power comes from, that opposite field power. Great defense. He can catch every day, and he's doing that right here in spring training.
We'll talk about the defense and Vinny. Joey Ortiz, we discussed him coming over the Baltimore Orioles deal for Corbin Burns earlier, but he's going to be in there at shortstop today and coming off a game where he hit a homer and surprise.
Yeah, he hit a home run off of Jose Leclerc, the closer for the Texas Rangers, and that's the big question mark regarding Joey Ortiz, whether or not that power is going to come, and it certainly did the other day against Leclerc. Again, the World Series winning Texas Rangers. He hit a home run off of their closer, and he just does a great job of driving the baseball. Last year, he had 43 extra base hits, 30 doubles, 9 home runs, and 4 triples in AAA. So that power is coming. Hopefully that comes and shows up in the big leagues in a big way.
And he's got a ton of opportunities to win a job at whatever position defensively on the field for Pat Murphy and the Milwaukee Brewers. We got a lot more coming up. Jansen Junk is going to start on the mound for the Brewers, but they are chock full of prospects. Devin Williams, Jacob Mizorowski, Aaron Ashby are all on the hill for the Crew this afternoon against the Dodgers. We'll check in with Sophia Minter on the other side of this break. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Cousins Subs. We believe in better. Another perfect day for baseball in the Valley of the Sun. Brewers and Dodgers. First matchup in Cactus League play. The berms are all full. A lot of Brewers fans, a lot of Dodgers fans in the ballpark. The Crew start with Jansen Junk on the mound, but certainly a lot of all-stars are going to be on the hill as well for the Brewers. And for more on the pitching plan this afternoon and for much more from camp, let's bring in Sophia Minter.
Hey guys, yeah, you're right. You gave a lot of love to the hitters, William Contreras and Joey Ortiz in the lineup for the Brewers today. Well, there's going to be some big league pitching on the mound here this afternoon. Fans will be very excited. Jansen Junk is starting the game here. 2 innings of work for him, and then will be followed by 2 innings from Aaron Ashby. So it's going to be great to see Ashby on the mound again. He missed all of last year with a left labrum tear, had surgery on that left shoulder last April. He's expected to go 2 innings today for his Cactus League debut, and he's going to continue building up as a starter. It will be great to get him back on the mound, certainly an arm that the Brewers are counting on here for the 2024 season after the time missed last year. And then we'll also get a look at 2-time National League Reliever of the Year, Devin Williams. He's expected to pitch today, and top pitching prospect Jacob Mizorowski. We have heard so much about him, just 20 years old, and he had a phenomenal year last year, rose up from Carolina to Biloxi. He's expected to have a huge year, the top pitching prospect in the organization. He's got nasty stuff, over 100 miles per hour. He has certainly opened up a lot of eyes here in camp. So it'll be a lot of fun to see these pitchers get in on the mound today. Yoel Payamps also expected after 69 appearances last year, a big part of that Brewers bullpen.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Payamps was a great piece of that bullpen as the setup man for Devin Williams for much of the year, a 7th inning guy as well. So you're looking at an organization that typically has not had a consistent bullpen that they have looked to in terms of their names, but this year everybody basically looks the same in that bullpen heading into the season.
I mean, it was kind of a no-name bullpen last year, right? You're right. I mean, nobody really knew how all these guys are going to be able to mesh and come together. I mean, everybody knew it was going to be Devin Williams at the end, but what a bullpen it turned out to be. Much different this year. It's awfully difficult to back up really good years for bullpen guys. I mean, it's the most inconsistent and maybe unpredictable part of your team, but it has really been a strong suit of this organization for many years.
Yeah, they seem to always have guys that are optionable. That is a big key for this organization, and a theory and really a philosophy that they've had in managing that pen, Jeff and Rock, to have guys that can come up and down like a Peguero, who came up from AAA last year, really did a great job in the 7th inning for the Brewers. So names like that continue to show up for the Brewers, and that's why their bullpen is always lately very, very strong.
Even a Trevor McGill, who really asserted himself towards the end of the season. We saw him throw a couple of days ago. It was just lights out yet again. I mean, 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Feels like when you shake a tree, someone's throwing 100 miles an hour for the Brewers. And we'll see another one in Jacob Mizorowski today. Sophia talked about him. I mean, he's been the talk of camp from not just the pitchers, but the hitters, too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him. And you got to give Chris Hook a lot of credit for what he's been able to do since he's come over here. I mean, taking guys that, you know, needed some guidance, some maybe tweaking a little bit. They come out and they really put together some pretty good innings. They stay healthy for the most part. That's the key for bullpen guys, and hopefully that's going to be the case for the starting rotation this year. A lot of injuries last year for the rotation, but the bullpen stayed relatively healthy.
Well, some of the conversations are, listen, we'll stretch him out in spring training, stretch him out at the beginning of the season, but if we need him, and this has been a recipe for the Brewers' success going back to 2018. You go back to a Brandon Woodruff or a Corbin Burns before then. They started in the bullpen, kind of got their feet wet in the major leagues, and became starters. That has been a good recipe for success recently, too.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at a guy like DL Hall that they acquired in the Corbin Burns trade as well from Baltimore, and he's already had that experience in the bullpen with Baltimore. Last year, he showed up in a big way for Baltimore in the playoffs against the Braves, striking out 50% of the batters that he faced. And so now he's looking to take that step and go ahead and implement himself in the starting rotation. But yeah, that is a big piece, and that is how the Brewers get these guys ready to pitch in the big leagues in the starting rotation.
DL Hall will pitch tomorrow in Scottsdale against the Diamondbacks. Freddie Peralta makes his Cactus League debut tomorrow, too. We'll hear all about that. And the Dodgers, they are in town. They are having themselves a very good spring. They are 6-2-1. Dave Roberts, the longest tenured manager in the National League, his 9th season at the helm of the Dodgers. Lost in the division series a year ago despite winning 100 games. His starting lineup today, Wisconsin man, that's Gavin Lux. He leads off. He's at shortstop, looking to bounce back after he lost his season a year ago with an ACL injury. Kike Hernandez just signed with the Dodgers again. He's doing the DHing. James Outman, Chris Taylor, Austin Barnes. That's the top 5 in the order, with Chris Owings, Miguel Vargas, Jose Ramos. They are very high on Ramos. He is making the start in right field today. And Kevin Padlow, well traveled. He is at first base for Los Angeles and batting ninth. This is Jansen Junk. Just a couple appearances with the Brewers last year, re-signed with the Crew, and they are thrilled about what he was able to do finishing the season last year, Rob.
Yeah, he really did a good job in AAA. 7-10, but the earned run average at .418. 27 appearances, 25 starts. He was 0-1 in 2 appearances, 1 start as a Milwaukee Brewer. He's 28 years old. He was acquired in 2022 in that Hunter Renfroe deal.
Yeah, and so what Jansen Junk really needs to continue to learn how to do is really implement his repertoire against lefties, be effective against left-handed batters. So he's got that changeup that he does have. He's also got a big curveball as well. So looking for him to get a little bit more swing and miss. 94 punch outs in the 140 innings last year in AAA.
Rock, before we get going, let's take a look at our defense for the Brewers.
All right, you got Jackson Chourio, Joey Wiemer, and Sal Frelick in the outfield. You got Dunn, Ortiz, Monasterio, and Owen Miller at first base, and Eric Haas hanging his signs today for Jansen Junk.
I'd love to tell you that there are some clouds, but there are none. It is another perfect day in Arizona. First pitch of the game to Gavin Lux is good for a strike, and off we go.
Gavin Lux from Indian Trail High School in Kenosha, Wisconsin. 2016 first rounder by the Dodgers.
Junk even at a ball and a strike. Lux, who tore his ACL in a spring training game a season ago. Very similar to the story for Rhys Hoskins, Brewers first baseman, who made his spring training debut yesterday. And Christian Yelich also debuted for the Brewers against San Diego. Some of those veterans are starting to trickle their way into the lineup. Gavin Lux down to the count, 1-2. Tapper off the glove of Junk, and Lux will reach. Play that should have been made by the pitcher Jansen Junk.
Yeah, bouncing off that mound looked like a relatively easy play for a guy as tall as he is. 6'2", off the glove, and no chance for Monasterio to pick it up and throw him out at first base.
Saw Junk after that play was concluded. He looked up almost as if the sun got in his eyes at the last moment.
Yeah, very rare that a ground ball or a tapper is going to be a sun ball, but I think that's exactly what happened.
Man on for Kike Hernandez. Here's strike 1. Hernandez just signing with the Dodgers a couple of days ago.
They expect him to play a utility role for the Dodgers.
There's some expectations for the Dodgers once again. I think a little bit more than normal this year with those 2 signings, Japanese players. $1.1 billion worth of contract.
Billion with a B. Shohei Ohtani played last night as the designated hitter. Dodgers, this one gets by Haas and back to the backstop. Be a pass ball on Haas as Lux ends up at second base. And Yamamoto, the starting pitcher. This is a totally different starting rotation for the Dodgers in 2024.
Yeah, he's got Glass now, Yamamoto, Paxton. There's just question marks regarding who's actually going to start, but they have plenty of depth and they'll figure it out for sure. It's a 100-win team last year, 3rd best in all of baseball. They just added to that roster.
Down and out on Hernandez. 2 balls and 1 strike on Kike. There's a lot of pressure on that man, Dave Roberts. Just the 1 World Series in 2020. They've won the division every year with the exception of 1 since 2013 in the West. Chopper to third. Play is made by Oliver Dunn.
Kind of surprised last year the Arizona Diamondbacks took him out in the postseason. What a run the Diamondbacks went on. Got the World Series, but very disappointing for the LA Dodgers and Dave Roberts.
Yeah, there's some talk about if you clinch too soon and you get that first round bye, you're not playing a whole lot of competitive baseball until that next round of the playoffs, and that's what happened to both the Braves and the Dodgers last year. The Diamondbacks used that to their advantage, sneaking into the wild card and then making a run all the way to the World Series.
Yeah, that week off for those teams that get those byes, not necessarily a good thing.
Heard a couple of managers speak on that subject a couple of days ago about that first round bye. 5 days off, take some of that momentum away. And Brian Snitker of the Braves, their offense just kind of went into a, not a tailspin, but certainly underachieved in that division round after having the best record in the National League. Outman takes a strike.
Braves with 104 wins last year and had that week off. Like you said, I mean, there's something to be said about having competitive at-bats day in, day out, competing, and then all of a sudden you're not playing. Gets you out of your rhythm a little bit.
Yeah.
Outman, and it's off the glove of Ortiz. That ball was knuckling on Ortiz quite a bit from Outman. Everybody's safe.
Yeah, it looked like Ortiz was going to be able to make the play, but it looked as though it was knuckling and just able to knock it down. Watch the glove. Kind of moves to his left. Able to knock it down. You know, because of that, Gavin Lux has to stay at second base.
Yeah, that saved a run, actually. That was an R.A. Dickey knuckleball right there at about 100 miles an hour off of the bat. Knocks it down.
Chris Taylor is the hitter. Swings and misses at the first pitch of the AB. 94 miles an hour. Chris Taylor is a guy that a lot of Brewers fans have nightmares about. Feels like every series Chris Taylor makes some sort of play defensively or hits a big homer against Milwaukee.
And the playoffs against the Brewers, making those fantastic catches, the big hits. He does come up with some big hits, but you can pitch to him. He strikes out quite a bit.
15 homers a season ago for Taylor. To left and deep and off the wall. Churio gets it in. The Dodgers are on the board first. Run scoring double by Chris Taylor.
There's some kind of breaking ball that hung up in the strike zone. Chris Taylor hammers it off the wall out there in left. Well played by Churio. It looks like a slider or a curveball, something like that. That didn't do a whole lot. And Chris Taylor, he's going to feast on pitches like that.
Yeah, he's got some kind of quick hands, and he can catch up to a fastball. But when you hang a breaking ball like that, he's gonna hammer that in the corner like he did.
Austin Barnes is the batter and takes a bit high. Barnes, a backup catcher in LA, has been there for years now. Good catching tandem with Will Smith. Barnes, a ground ball softly to short. Ortiz charges, gets the out at first. Another run comes across for LA. So 2-0 Dodgers for Chris Owings. Trying to find a way on this packed Dodgers roster.
And the starting lineup for the Dodgers is like an all-star team. I mean, you talk about pressure going into a season. It's not just pressure get to the World Series. They got to win it.
Right.
Spend that kind of money. Have the expectations, as we've discussed, year in and year out, but to only have the one championship, it almost feels like a letdown.
Right.
Yeah, it's cliche to say, but you just got to get in, and crazy stuff can happen. Got to run through the gauntlet, the tournament they call it, the playoffs in baseball. It's tough to get all the way through.
I'll say it is amazing the Dodgers had 100 wins last year with as much injury time as they had. The second most days on the injured list of Major League Baseball last year. Most of that to the pitching staff.
Right. Dustin May, Walker Buehler were out all year.
And May's going to be out until August or September of this year. Had a little cleanup in his elbow. Remember, he ripped up his elbow against the Brewers a couple of years ago.
Right.
Was on his way back last season, got hurt again. Walker Buehler hasn't pitched since 2022.
Right.
2-2 coming, got him looking. So Jansen Junk ends the first with a strikeout of Chris Owings. Dodgers get a couple of runs. Brewers coming up when we return. 2-0 Dodgers. Pat Murphy and the crew coming up against LA in this bottom of the first inning. First season at the helm of the Brewers. First time that he's gone into the year as the manager. Of course, the interim manager of the San Diego Padres. Take a look at the starting lineup for Pat Murphy. Brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold. It's Sal Frelick, William Contreras, Oliver Dunn, the first three in the order, with Weimer, Churio, and Miller in the middle. Joey Ortiz, Andrew Monasterio, and Eric Haas doing the catching and batting at ninth. Sal Frelick leads things off, fouls the first pitch away. The starting pitcher for the Dodgers, right-hander Kyle Hurt. They're really big on him.
Yeah, Kyle Hurt came over in a trade back in 2021 for Dylan Floro with the Marlins. Guessing the Marlins want that one back because this kid has turned himself into a pretty good prospect right here for the Dodgers. Going to serve as depth for them. He came up in the big leagues last year through a couple innings of relief, but he is a starter and he's got strikeout stuff. Good changeup.
Yeah, 3 different levels of the Dodgers organization a year ago. AA, AAA, then LA for a game. Made one appearance, a couple innings. Right prospect.
He's yet to give up a hit in the big leagues. He struck out 3 in that one appearance. Frelick swings and misses. There's that changeup. That is a good combo.
Last year in the big leagues, he was throwing 96, 98 with the fastball, and then he threw the changeup. Did not throw a breaking ball in the big leagues last year in the couple innings of work, and that's the changeup right there. Just drops right at the plate. It's a lot of strikeouts on that pitch.
Best pitch in baseball, other than the fastball, the changeup. A lot of guys are throwing it.
Contreras fouls the first pitch away. It's really made a resurgence over the last few years too, coming back.
Easy on the arm.
There's Contreras, 17 homers for him a season ago. Homered on the first pitch he saw in spring, and swings and misses. 97. That's easy 97.
Well, he's getting a lot of playing time, isn't he, William Contreras?
And we've discussed it quite a bit, but he wants to be in there. It's not like, hey, give me a couple of days. He wants to get his at-bats, and he's got something to prove this season. That was after he won the Silver Slugger Award for the catchers.
The 11th in the MVP voting last year was William Contreras, which he just came on in the second half. Really carried the team for much of the second half of the season as far as offense goes. There was a lot of contributors, but William Contreras was consistent day in, day out in that second half. Really helped.
Either catching or the designated hitter. His opposite field stroke is about as good as it gets. Line drive bullets. It reminds me a lot of, and I know I said this a lot, Ryan Braun, the way he hit the ball to right field. Didn't slice. Just bullets right down the line.
It's such a hard thing to do as a right-handed hitter, not slice line drives to the opposite field. But for Contreras, just on a line every single time.
Think about, you know, watching Robin Yount. You played with him. He did the same thing, at that same opposite field approach. Keeps you on the ball.
Yeah, everybody knows the philosophy, but it's so difficult to incorporate when you're up there and you're thinking about getting that bat head out with these guys throwing near 100 miles an hour. But
off the fist, but a base hit for William Contreras. So strong. First knock of the day for the Brewers. Let's take a look at the Los Angeles defense.
Left fielder Miguel Vargas played a lot of second last year. James Outman, third in Rookie of the Year voting in center. Jose Ramos, 19th best prospect for the Dodgers in right. At third base, Chris Taylor. Gavin Lux at short. Chris Owings at second base. Kevin Padlo at first, and Austin Barnes behind the plate.
Oliver Dunn, the hitter. He's had a really nice spring. And he's the kind of guy who could be up at some point for the Brewers. Last year was in Double-A Reading with the Phillies organization. And for Dunn, his first fully healthy season, a career high 119 games.
It's going to be interesting to see which one of these guys that you haven't really heard a whole lot about is going to make an impact on this Brewer team. Maybe not right from the beginning, but sometime during the year. They've got a lot of talent that you don't really expect to make the big league team, but you never know.
Oliver Dunn could be that name that really helps out the big league team this year offensively, and he showed out pretty well defensively. Made a nice play, routine play at third in the top half of the inning, but This kid was the newcomer of the year in the Arizona Fall League. Breakout player of the year at Arizona Fall League this last year.
Plays all over the infield. We've seen him at second. We've seen him at third. He said earlier he feels the most comfortable at second base, but he can play all over. Brewers love those position versatile guys. That's a strike to make it 3-2.
Boy, Matt Arnold's really filled the pipeline in this organization. AA, AAA, major leagues. A lot of different players they can go to at many different positions. Look at how many catchers there are in Brewers camp this year.
Yeah, it's strike 3. Just did catch the corner. Dunn thought it was wide. Second strikeout for Hurt.
That pitch is right on the black at the knees.
Veteran catcher able to make that one look pretty good behind home plate. Austin Barnes.
I remember playing against Austin Barnes in AAA, and the ball looked like it was going to skip in, and he would get strikes all day long.
That one's a shot, but right there in the right place. Chris Owings to take a hit away from Joey Weimer. That was 97 coming in. Harder than 97 coming up. A nice play defensively. Brewers had a hit in strand 1. On our way to the second from American Family Fields of Phoenix.
Next trip to American Family Field even better when you purchase parking in advance. Get a parking pass with your tickets to make game day easier and ensure you get in the lot and get your tailgate spot as fast as possible. Visit brewers.com/parking for information.
Well, can we do that in downtown Phoenix? It is very difficult to find a parking spot in downtown Phoenix, guys.
Take an Uber.
I just walk or take a scooter.
Are you right downtown?
Yes. Yeah, over in the Brewers dorms. Miguel Vargas takes up and in.
So what do you do for parking?
I walk. I just keep the car in the
Keep it there
where I'm staying, and then walk.
Gotcha. He actually lives in his car. Just stays in the parking lot here at the ballpark.
That is my spot. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like we're doing that.
He has 0 mileage on his rental car.
It just stays where it is.
How does he get to the ballpark?
Scooter. Check swing and a base hit. Vargas stops at first base. Excuse me, swing, base hit number 4 against Jansen Junk.
The Dodgers have the Midas touch so far today. Gavin Lux with that infield high chopper. Ruled a base hit. How about this check swing? Gotta love those, huh, Vinny?
Take about 1,000 of those for sure. Little excuse me swing, punches it out into right field. That's his 3rd hit of the spring. Vargas.
Jose Ramos, big time prospect in the Dodgers system, hits and hits it foul. Check swing like that. The first thing that goes through your mind, right, is, well, what if I would have taken a full swing? How far would I really hit that ball?
Swing and a miss. That was what it would have been. And Vinny, remember your playing days. I mean, you get a base hit your first time up. I mean, the rest of the day is just like, you know, you're relaxed, right?
Yeah, you can take a deep breath.
You get that first hit out of the way right in first at bat.
How about the worst, though, was going 2 for 2 and then finishing the day 2 for 5. You think, oh, I'm going to get 3 knocks today, and then 2 for 5.
Still hitting 400,
Yeah,
though.
no, I know.
That's not a bad day.
That was greedy, I guess.
2 for 2. Yeah, you want to go for
At
the
least
gold
3.
there.
Yeah.
Throw to first and back with a dive. Let's see this check swing again. Look at that freeze.
It's like a cricket swing. But it worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
0-2 fouled away again. Can you explain cricket, Rock?
I cannot.
No?
I don't know the rules.
I don't either.
You know, they bounce the ball into the guy, and he's got this stick that's flat on both sides, right? And you hit it, I don't know what happens after that.
You can hit it both directions, I think. You can hit it 360 degrees.
Yeah.
They throw the thing like 120 miles an hour. They call it bowling.
Yeah, the boulders.
But that's all I know about it.
You should have asked Vinny.
That's all I know.
Well, we're just adding on.
He's a cricket expert.
Games can last weeks. In the dirt, gets away from Haas, and down to second goes Vargas. Well, Vargas was dancing around over there at first base. Junk's already used his 2 disengagements, almost daring him to throw over there. This breaking ball in the dirt, Haas couldn't keep it close.
That bounces well in front of the plate. Curveball. It's away from Haas.
That was roughly difficult when you're on one knee. Your mobility is very limited.
Yeah, some of the best blocks that I've ever had behind the plate, and probably you as well, are stand-up blocks.
Yeah, right.
So when ball way out in front of the plate, you can almost stand up and block them.
When you're on your haunches, I mean, you can move around a little bit better,
Yeah.
but that's not the way they're teaching catching these days. It's all about framing pitches, and you're willing to give up the wild pitch every now and again.
To right field, Frelick gets behind it, makes the catch. Vargas tags. Throw will be cut off by Monasterio. Productive bat from Ramos.
And one thing about catching on one knee, you really give the umpire a really good look at your pitches. You can frame them very nicely, but your mobility is very limited.
What do you think about the pressure it would take off of your legs, though, being on one knee? Even
Yeah.
with runners on base.
Right,
I mean,
right, yeah. Remember the knee savers they used to have?
Did you wear those?
I did not. That
No, I
was
didn't.
that was after my time.
Did you ever wear them, Vinny?
No. It's kind of a badge of honor not to wear those things, right?
Yeah, infield's in for Padlow, down and away.
Sandy Alomar was the first guy I remember wearing those, the Cleveland Indians catcher. He does not have them
I don't know many people that wear them anymore.
because it's one knee. Yeah. You have a good low target. You get the umpire to get a good look at the pitches.
I always felt that those knee savers got in the way. I don't know, made you feel lazy when you were just resting on them. Didn't have as much mobility.
Couldn't get as low either.
Yeah.
You got real low. I remember that, Rock. You'd be able to squat real.
I tried.
As low as you could with your 6'4" frame.
Fold up real well.
An enormous head. Had to get that out of the way. Umpire used to say, would you duck down a little bit?
I'm as low as I can get. Excuse me, sir, your squash is in the way.
Yeah, I can't do anything about that, sir.
2-2. Foul back. 94.
I mean, we were all catchers, all three of us, up
Yeah.
here in the booth.
I go back to on the radio side working with Euchre, and Euchre tried to do that one time in a game, and his manager Gene Mock, he went down to one knee to catch for one pitch. Locked him up on a breaking ball for strike 3. And Gene Mock, as he's running into the dugout, says, "Are you tired?" And Euchre looks at him and goes, "No, why?" He said, "You ever do that again, I'm going to take you out of the game."
Jeez. I can see that from Gene Mock. Old school guy, right?
Like you said, badge of honor. 2 away for Gavin Lux. Swing and a miss.
I remember back 20 years ago now, 15 years ago, Brad Ausmus used to block on one knee. He used to block that Bradledge slider at 93 miles an hour. He'd keep it right in front of him. But he didn't set up on one knee.
Base hit back up the middle for Gavin Lux. Makes it 3-0. Stayed on that fastball nicely.
Yeah, 93 miles an hour. Lux able to hit it hard into center. Yeah, the guy can hit, no doubt about that. Nice soft stroke, nice and level, not a whole lot of movement, the lower body, and a bullet into center field with 2 outs.
He got some kind of quick hands, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I mean, to go from the angle of the bat basically facing the screen to get into that hitting position, there's some serious whip on that bat.
Keeps his hands nice and relaxed. There's no question about the hit tool for Gavin Lux. They're wondering whether or not he can play a solid defensive shortstop. 68 games in his career at shortstop.
Toss to first has Lux back. See, look at how he's pointing that bat, and then it just whips right through.
And then he lifts it up. Remember Mickey Tettleton?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the most extreme case of holding the bat. I mean, it was flat.
Yeah, flat, maybe even down, tilted down a little bit until that ball was in the hitting zone, and then look out.
Boy, he has some power, Tettleton. Whew. Kike Hernandez spoils one. Ball and 2 strikes on Kike Hernandez.
Watching Jansen Junk, I would getting that curveball over for strikes earlier in the count is probably what he needs to work on.
That one lined and caught. Soft line drive to Oliver Dunn. He makes the play. And the inning ends. One more coming across for the Dodgers on the knock by Lux. Jackson Chourio to lead it off for the Brewers.
First Fridays, meaning every Wisconsin resident gets half off Brewers tickets at the first Friday home game of every month. Grab your half price tickets at brewers.com/Wisconsin Fridays. Good deal. You can always find a good deal at the ballpark.
Excellent deal. You just got to know where to find it. First pitch grounded off the end of the bat by Jackson Chourio. 1 up and 1 down on 1 pitch. Tell you, it's fun watching him take batting practice. I know it's fun watching all these big leaguers take batting practice. For Chourio, though, to be as young as he is, 19 years old, he has such a great plan of what he's trying to do.
And he's using the opposite field a lot. Handsy swing, taking that batting practice over to right field, keeps him on the baseball.
He's had a few near misses. I mean, he's trying to go in that direction, like you said. I mean, if you can get the ball to right field and they start challenging you inside, that's when you're going to do most of your damage. But he's just getting under the baseball a little bit.
Owen Miller rifles one to right, but it's caught by Ramos. Gonna start trying the Dodger way with some check swings and see if he can get a couple knocks.
Check swings and high choppers.
Yeah, you got to be happy with it. Good contact in spring training for sure. Anytime. Season, you'd like to get those results, but good swing by Owen Miller there.
Yeah, you would think that a guy like Churio is putting a little pressure on himself to make a good impression.
Popped up to Austin Barnes, and that is a 3-up, 3-down inning on just 4 pitches. We saw Devin Williams getting ready to work. He's coming in the 3rd.
Pass to UW basketball every Tuesday night. Catch all the games, game highlights, features, and interviews to keep you up to date. Watch Badger Sports Report Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. on Bally Sports.
There's a little Badger love out there. Here's Devin Williams, last year's National League Reliever of the Year. 36 saves for Devin Williams. Another amazing season for the Brewers closer.
Yeah, no kidding. You talk about a guy that has made a big impact. I mean, that's an understatement. His major league career, 26 and 10, a 186 earned run average in 219 games. Another fantastic year. Last year, 61 appearances and an 8-3 record with a 153. Can it get any better than that?
I mean, the amazing part about his year last year is the 129. Well, everything is amazing, but the 129 opponent batting average, that was best in all of baseball. Guys just don't get hits off this guy.
Right.
26 hits allowed. That's it. 26 hits allowed. Gave up 4 homers. Struck out 87 in those 58 and 2/3 innings. I mean, just the numbers are video game like.
It's amazing.
Yeah, in his big league career, 214 innings, 337 punch outs.
Just incredible.
And he doesn't, his fastball rarely registers above 95, 96 miles an hour like a lot of the strikeout pitchers do nowadays. It's that changeup that really acts like a screwball, Rock.
And he doesn't even have to throw the changeup. I mean, everybody knows he throws it. He's getting a lot of mileage out of the fastball and that cutter that he's come up with.
Right.
When you go up against Williams, you got to be sitting changeup, which is, even if you're looking for it, hard to hit.
Take a look at our Potawatomi advanced stat. And since becoming the closer in August, right after the trade deadline in 22, sparkling ERA of 1.80. The strikeouts, the saves, 2-time All-Star. This continues to get better.
Is there a better closer in the game? I say no. I really believe that. I think Devin Williams is the best closer in all of baseball. Big game pitcher, wants the ball in big spots, makes pitches in big spots. Sometimes he'll get himself into some jams every once in a while, and that's when he really starts to lock it in.
Runner goes, swing and a miss at the changeup. Throw to second, not in time to get Outman. Got a good jump and had a good pitch to run on.
Yeah, he's the guy that can get himself in trouble. The walks sometimes can be a problem, as you mentioned, but that strikeout ability, you can get him out of a lot of those pickles.
There have been a handful of times, Rock, and I remember one in particular in Baltimore at the beginning of the season a couple of years ago. It wasn't even in the ninth, it was in the 8th inning. Walked the bases loaded, nobody out. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Just like that with the changeup.
It's almost like he was toying with him.
He's got that airbender going early as he strikes out Chris Taylor.
And that's the thing. Sometimes it takes him a few changeups to land that where he wants it. He very rarely gives up hits on that changeup, but he will walk batters because of it.
Misses low.
That was the cutter there at 89. A little more depth to the cutter right there on that particular one. Downward movement.
Just one more thing that a hitter has to think about. You know, as a hitter, they're going up there thinking changeup. Can adjust to the fastball, which I find to be a very difficult way to go about it.
Right.
But then you got to have that cutter in the back of your mind, especially a left-handed hitter.
Actually increase the fastball usage, as Rock was talking about. A lot of, and you, Jeff, hitters are looking for the changeup, and so now the fastball becomes more effective. You see a lot of late swings on the fastball from Devin Williams.
Runner goes low, throw to third. Outman with a couple of steals. He's picking the right pitches to run on. A couple of changeups that he's got stolen bases on.
Yeah, that's the pitch to run on. Not only does it take the velocity off, of course, that went 83 miles an hour, but with the movement as a catcher, you got to make sure you catch the baseball first. That'll slow you down making that throw.
Infield is up, and that changeup misses in, so runners are on the corners for the Dodgers for Chris Owings. Pair of walks for Devin Williams in the inning.
And think about how hard it would be as a catcher to throw on that changeup, because you want to go and get it, but as a catcher you need to let that ball travel to you, catch it, transfer, then throw.
Tendency is you reach for it and then the guy swings at it and he hits your glove.
How many catcher's interferences did we see last year?
Right.
Owings takes a strike. That was the cutter. Cutter's got a new shape. We saw Abner Uribe debut a cutter a couple of days ago, and he made his Cactus League debut. He's already throwing hard enough at 103. Now you got a 98+ cutter. Yikes. You see Devin doing a little bit of coaching on the mound there. Chris Hook
Trying to get him to get himself to stay back a little bit, not jump at the hitter.
Toss to first.
Chris Hook talks a lot about lanes with pitchers and staying in their lane down the hill. Pull off, you're coming out of that lane. If you pull off towards first base, towards the first base dugout, Devin Williams coached himself up, stay in that lane towards home. Man, is that nasty.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Saw something earlier today on the nastiest pitches from a year ago. Devin Williams had the biggest vertical break on any pitch in the major leagues last year. Changeup had 27 inches of break on it for a changeup.
83 miles an hour.
2-2 on Owings. And a foul at home plate.
Yeah, that's the up and down movement, that 27 inches, but think about side to side movement as well.
It's got those long fingers. That ball just kind of rolls up the fingers. You know, he gets that spin, that rotation. Not easy.
Think about when he started perfecting that changeup, he would use a device that looks like a hockey puck, work on the spin and try and throw it so that the hockey.
Earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with the link.
Okay, smart. I'm coming.
Cubs organization, was with the Nationals organization. Brewers brought him over a couple of years ago on a minor league deal. And like you said, Rock, he just is a ball player, right? That's the best compliment you can get. Someone calls you a ball player.
Yeah. There's a base hit to right for Haas. That's one of Pat Murphy's favorites, ball player. You take 26 ball players on your team any day of the week.
And they're going to play with injury.
Yep.
They want to stay in the lineup.
Base hit to right by Haas.
Not a bad pitch. Maybe up a little bit. Had some movement on the outside corner. Went right with it. A heck of a swing.
And I talked to Eric Haas about his swing. He struggled last year, a couple of different stops, and just using his hands more. That's been the key for him so far this spring. Been swinging the bat pretty well. Not trying to do too much with his lower half.
Keep that front shoulder closed. That's the only way you hit that ball to right field.
About all the hitting coaches guys have nowadays, and go from bounce around to different organizations. Too many voices sometimes. Eric Haas told me he's just trying to simplify it, use those good hands that he's got. Put up some good years in the past.
21 homers a couple of seasons ago, the Tigers. Brewers are going to have, once camp breaks, some interesting decisions. They signed Gary Sanchez, backup catcher. He could DH for you. Of course, amazing power, but you'd love to have a guy who is a defense-first type of guy. Haas can do that. He can play the outfield. There's a chance the Brewers could carry 3 catchers at the end of this camp.
Yeah, how many catchers are they looking at? 7, right? A lot of catchers in camp.
What's out?
Well, if you have a Gary Sanchez DHing and William Contreras is catching, God forbid something happen, get dinged up behind the dish, take a foul ball off the shoulder, need to come out of the game, then and what do? You lose your DH if you don't have that third catcher. It's a luxury to have if you do carry 3.
How many times does that roster change game 2? I mean, really, you can make that opening day roster, but it's going to change game 2 more than likely. Runners take off, and it's fouled away by Frelick.
Yeah, not many teams have the luxury of carrying 3 catchers unless one of them can play pretty well somewhere else, because what do you have, 12 guys in your bullpen? I mean, not 12, but you have a lot of pitchers on your roster.
What was it, a couple of years ago that Victor Caratini showed up on opening day in Chicago?
That's right.
With the wrong color gear, because he was a Padre the day before.
Different color yellow in the scheme. That was 2 seasons ago. Brewers made that trade late. And the bases are going to be loaded after Frelick takes a walk. Nobody out for William Contreras. Not a lot of teams had 3 catchers, Rock.
Well, the Brewers are one of 3 teams all year to only have 2 catchers.
Yep.
All year. I mean, it didn't have to be the same guys, only 2 on their roster. The Brewers, Miami, and the Phillies.
That one is caught right at Owings. Had him shaded towards the middle. That's the first out.
And when you have guys like William Contreras and JT Realmuto, there's not really any whole lot of reason to have any other catchers, right?
The Marlins surprises me a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Jacob Stallings. Think of their backup last year, but
there's a few, teams I would imagine that, or at least the Marlins probably had 2 catchers at one time, but different ones.
Right.
Right.
Oliver down at the plate. And he fouls it away. Apologize for some of the folks who may be experiencing some technical difficulties. Working on it.
They're not hearing all this brilliance that we're sharing with them.
That's what I was just told from our producer and director. I think we sound pretty good, but that's just my opinion.
And we're kind of We always think we sound good, right?
People complaining on X, is that what it's called now? X or
I'm not
Twitter?
sure. I'm not sure. I think everybody knows what we're talking about. Dunn swings and misses. Well, bases loaded and 1 out after the line out from William Contreras. And trying to get to Eduardo Salazar in the bottom of the 3rd. And time used by Barnes. 2nd mound visit. Only 4 mound visits now in 2024.
They're trying to shorten the games even more, right? I mean, the pitch clock a little shorter.
18 seconds now with runners on base as opposed to 20 seconds last year.
Yeah.
Juan Murillo is getting ready in that Dodger pen. 2-2. Dunn takes down and in. Yeah, average game time 2 hours and 40 minutes. The length of games started getting longer as the season went on, but not anything that anybody would notice. From 240 to 244 at the end of the season. 3-2's down and in. That's ball 4. Brewers get a run. The bases loaded, walk.
A couple of tough pitches he took that were called off the plate. Dunn good at bat.
That's his calling card. Just quality at bats with the ability to drive it.
A visit to the mound with Salazar before Weimer comes up.
This will be my first look at the Joey Weimer new batting technique. Swung the first pitch last time up, I believe.
Hit a bullet to the second baseman on 1 hop. He is a lot more quiet at the plate.
Yeah, right. Not drifting toward the pitcher. He did that quite a bit last year. That makes it awfully difficult.
Takes a strike.
Yeah, the big change with the Joey Weimer setup and trigger, the hand trigger doesn't go all the way down anymore. He's trying to keep those hands a little bit quieter, like you said.
It doesn't seem to be drifting toward the pitcher as it's coming to him, making it a lot more difficult to pick up that baseball and get a good swing on it.
He's plenty strong. All he has to really do is touch it with the barrel and it's going to go.
Tapper back to the mound. Salazar goes home for 1. No return throw to first. That's going to be the big pitch for Joey Weimer. Found that out late in the season. The slider struggled with being consistent on laying off that pitch. There's Jackson Chourio. Bases remain loaded with 2 outs. Took a rip at the first pitch he saw back in the 2nd inning and takes a strike. Swing and a miss. That's a good slider from Salazar.
Oh, Sal, leave him out there.
26 pitches used already from the right-hander from LA. And he struck out Chourio. 3 straight sliders. Brewers had the bases loaded, nobody out. They push 1 across. 3 innings complete. 3-1 LA.
At Cousin Subs.
Baseball at the Brewers home opener on Tuesday, April 2nd. Break out the tailgate setup and celebrate the start of the new season at American Family Field as the Brewers battle the Twins. Grab your seats before they're gone at brewers.com/tickets. You been to the Grand Canyon?
I have not.
No.
No, I'm going to take the family.
Just had a shot of it
coming up.
Doing that read.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Did you go?
Big hole in the rock.
Are you going this when the family comes in?
Yes. Yes. Going up to the Grand Canyon. We'll do a little Sedona. Have some fun.
Fantastic.
Your own Piops is on 69 appearances for him. Was great in that setup role for the Brewers last season.
70 2/3 innings last year, tied for 19th in all of baseball in innings. 69 games. He was a workhorse for the Brewers out of the pen last year, Rock.
Yeah, he worked a lot. 69 appearances. Toward the latter part of the season, they had to sit him down. He was kind of getting a little bit tuckered out. Can't blame him for that, but what an impact he made out of the Brewers bullpen. A very good Brewers bullpen.
Yeah, 27 holds. That was 8th in all of baseball. It was tremendous.
Looks like we had a pitch timer violation assessed to you all Piops, and they have since wiped it away. He said ball one. It seems as if we're having a pitch comm malfunction with the listening device for Piops. If that was on your bingo card for the day, we've X'd it out. Pitch comm device issue.
Pitch clock violation that was not.
I have never seen one get overturned.
Right.
It was a first.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
See something every day that you hadn't seen before at the ballpark, right? Every week?
Mm-hmm.
Every day or every week?
Every inning.
Every time you come to the ballpark, you see something new.
Something new.
Piops a little low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Nice crowd today here at the American Family Fields of Phoenix.
Wonderful crowd.
Yeah. Good to see.
Starting to get some school spring breaks. You have families coming down and enjoying Arizona. Of course, the weather in Wisconsin has really turned beautifully. It was the warmest winter ever for the state of Wisconsin. 3 degrees more than any other. That one's drilled deep left and gone for Miguel Vargas. (4-1) Los Angeles.
Yeah, fastball. He turned on it, dropped the head of the bat on it, and it was way back and left. Down and in. Yeah, dropped the head of the bat on it. There she went. Nice level swing, good balance.
Remember last year he was coming off an injury in the first few games that he was at the plate, was not allowed to swing.
That's right.
Just come up to the plate, track baseballs. He drew a ton of walks, even though people knew that he couldn't swing the bat. And they really like him. The bat has not been very consistent at the big league level.
Yeah, 256 at-bats last year, hit 195. He was a top prospect going into the season last year, played second base. Mookie Betts is going to play there now for the Dodgers.
To third on a hop, Dunn takes care of Ramos for the first out. And how about that? You got one of the game's best players in Mookie Betts, multiple Gold Glove Award winner in the outfield, came up as a second baseman, and now he's going to be a second baseman for good.
That's unbelievable that he's able to do that. Play the outfield for the majority of his major league career and then say, oh, I want to play second. I'm going to play it every day. Played some last year. He's going to play it every day this year.
A little easier going the other way, right? Infield to outfield.
Yeah.
Craig Biggio.
That's what most guys do.
Robin Yount.
Yeah.
And Biggio started as a catcher. I love the fact that he was a catcher first.
Right.
Kevin Padlow's the batter. Takes a strike. For Mookie Betts, he was hitting so much in the minor leagues. He was playing second base. The Red Sox, when he first came up, needed to find a spot for him, and it was the outfield because they had a decent kid named Dustin Pedroia who was playing second base at the time. So they put him in right field and never looked back. Down and away on Padlow. Mookie Betts played last night in the Dodger game in Glendale. A lot of Betts 50 jerseys. There's a strike. Second out. First K from Yoel Payamps.
Yeah, that Dodger roster for opening day is going to look like an all-star team, isn't it?
Multiple MVPs, as you see Yoel Payamps paint on the outer black right there. Good pitch, four-seamer. But yeah, Rock, I mean, think about who they're going to have. Betts, Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, all three guys have won MVP awards.
You got Max Muncy, you got Will Smith.
Will Smith can play.
Yeah.
Teoscar Hernandez coming over 1-0 on Gavin Lux. He's 2 for 2. Drove in a run in the second inning. Ball and a strike on Lux.
Brewers have played the Dodgers pretty tough.
Yeah.
Over the years, even despite those great rosters that they've put out there.
Fouled away. Played him a couple of times in the playoffs, 2018, 2020. I've had a lot of success in Milwaukee against the Dodgers. Dodger Stadium has been a house of horrors recently, however. That's ripped into right. A 2-strike base hit for Gavin Lux. That's a smooth swing.
Man, is he quick inside right here. Look at how quick these hands are. And short and direct.
You see that belt buckle facing Payamps. I mean, that's what gets everything started on that swing. The hips. Hips then hands. And Lux did it perfectly that time.
Hernandez jammed foul.
It's a testament to how much they like Gavin Lux, right? I mean, all the prospects that have come through the Dodgers system over the years, they've been trade currency, a lot of these guys, but they have not been willing to move on Gavin Lux.
And plenty of teams have asked.
Yeah.
He's usually the name that other teams start with.
Right.
If you want one of my guys, I'm going to take him.
Yep.
To Hernandez into left center. Stayed on the breaking ball well. Hernandez into second base to out double.
Well, you hate to see that, right? A 1-2 base hit by Lux. That was an 0-2 pitch. That time to Hernandez. He's able to dump it into the gap.
It's been that sweeping slider that's been such a good pitch for Yoel Payamps last year against righties, and that one stayed up. Kike Hernandez drives into the gap for double.
Well, Altman's at the plate. That's a little low. Payamps at 20 pitches in this inning. (4-1) LA, back-to-back 2-strike base hits. And Altman takes outside. A wrinkle there for Payamps.
That's a changeup that he throws to lefties. Had a pretty good lateral action to it. He's able to keep it in the zone.
Oh boy. On 3-0, Altman goes out. Three-run homer, 3 straight 2-out hits, and that one was not a cheaper. Wow.
And no taking on 3-0 here. Fastball down the gut. Middle in. Well, he hits it Hits it a ton.
Right to the sidewalk and deep right. And Pat Murphy's on his way out. He'll go take the baseball from Yoel Payam. Shane Smith has been loosening for the Brewers. He'll be coming in, trying to finish out this fourth inning. It is 7-1 Los Angeles. One more out to get in this top of the fourth. It will be Smith coming in on the other side of this timeout.
Gracias.
Fields of Phoenix, fourth inning between the Brewers and the Dodgers, joined by two-time National League Reliever of the Year, Devin Williams. Devin, your first Cactus League appearance out of the way now and just getting back on the mound for the first time this spring. What did you feel? What did you want to work on? How did you think the inning went overall?
Yeah, you know, first outing, just getting back out there, making sure my pitches are doing what they're supposed to, and you know, trying to execute. And game-like situation, I thought it went pretty solid.
Good for you to just get some traffic on there and start, you know, maybe putting yourself in a save-like situation, right? Working on some sequences. I know you wanted to work on a little bit of everything with your pitches today.
Yeah, I mean, I think now is the best time, you know, to get into some situations that you have to pitch out of. Like, it's the thing with the young guys, they're kind of, some of them have been like disappointed with how it went, but they pitched out of it, and I was like, that's good, because you're just going to grow from it, you know. But yeah, it was good.
Tell us a little bit about your, at the end of the inning there, Devin. You're off the hook, but thanks for joining us. Well, maybe we'll stick around for another question.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Jeff, thanks. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks so much. Fourth inning is over. We go to the bottom half of the fourth, 7-1 LA.
Hometown Champions Award recognizes the courage of first responders across Wisconsin. Fans can nominate a hometown champion for their commitment to public service by visiting brewers.com/hometown. Hometown champions will be recognized at a pregame ceremony at American Family Field.
Good stuff, Finney. Let's check in with Sophia. Devin Williams said maybe I'll stick around, and he did. Way to go, Dev.
That's the kind of teammate Devin Williams is. He'll stick around when you want him to. But Devin, yesterday you had a great opportunity. You grew up a big soccer fan, still are a big soccer fan in the offseason. You like to go to Europe with your fiance Maggie, catch a couple European club games. But you got to meet Landon Donovan yesterday. He came out to spring training. What was that experience like?
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, I showed up yesterday and they were like, hey, you want to go kick the ball around with Landon Donovan? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, you know. But yeah, it was really cool. He was super chill, you know, really down to earth. We had a good chat while we were kicking around for like 10-15 minutes and, you know, hung out with him and his kids for a little bit, so it was really cool.
So I saw that you and Landon, you were talking about maybe the similarities of playing in a World Cup, and you got an opportunity to pitch in the World Baseball Classic, but also pitching in the postseason, right? Like what all of that feels like as competitors. What'd you take away from your conversation with him?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the World Cup goes, I don't really think that there's many, you know, events that compare. But he did. Go!
You want to do some play-by-play?
And he's safe. He's safe. But yeah, he basically was saying that he went to a Padres playoff game 2 years ago in 22, and was kind of joking that, like, you know, it was great. It was an electric atmosphere, but that's every weekend in the Premier League, you know. So, which I don't really disagree with, but yeah, it was cool. Good to get to know him.
Well, we obviously know what you've accomplished in baseball, a Rookie of the Year, now a two-time reliever of the year, an all-star. What was your soccer game like as a kid?
I mean, I was pretty good, you know, but I don't know if I'd be at the top level and if I continued on that path. But, you know, I'm known to kick it around in the off-season. One of my best friends played in college, and I'm a lot better than he is, so I'm just going to say that. Michael, I hope you hear this.
Well, last one for you. We'll talk about this season. Obviously, you had a monster year, 36 saves, 61 appearances for you. Last year at this time, we probably had the biggest or most amount of questions about the bullpen. This year, you guys come in, you had the best earned run average of any bullpen in the National League. You, of course, were the leader of that. What do you think about the arms that emerged last year? And now you're bringing back essentially the same group, right? So many of you guys that had great experience and great success last year.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of guys, you know, that maybe there wasn't that much expected out of them, you know, when we broke camp, but they showed what they were worth, and, you know, were extremely valuable for us last year. Everyone in the pen was, you know, lights out. But now the thing is, we can't rest on that, you know. We all collectively have to continue to improve and continue to push each other to get better and be better this year than we were last year.
All right, well, Dev, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
Thanks so much, Sophia. Devin Williams never shy on showing how good he is at something, right? Soccer player, I'd love to see him out there on the pitch.
Saw him kick the ball around a little bit in a video. Pretty solid. I was a soccer player growing up. How about you, Jeff?
I would say I was on the field. I wouldn't call myself a player.
Rock?
I was a halfback, you know, early on, you know, junior high. Then went to high school. It kind of coerced me into playing football. So
let's see that. What position did you play in football? Tight end?
Tight end, defensive end, place kicker, snap for punts.
Huh.
The only team or part of the game that I was not on the field for was the punt return team. But we were so bad, the other team hardly ever punted.
It's not saying much for your defensive end prowess.
I own that end.
They ran to the other side. Oh, I love it. Fouled back by Monasterio. I bet that was a real treat for those guys to get a chance to chat with Landon Donovan for a little while. What a superstar.
Yeah, soccer, right? Most popular sport in the world, right?
Competing on the World Cup stage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Infield up for LA. 2-2 to Monasterio. Swing and a miss. Took some off. That was a changeup. So after the leadoff triple from Owen Miller, Ortiz strikes out. Monasterio strikes out. Now it's Eric Haas.
Just another reliever for the Dodgers that they bring over from the minor league side, throwing a ho-hum 99 with a hard breaking ball and a good changeup.
First year in the pro baseball was 2003 for this guy. He's been around a while, a couple of different stints with the Rockies. Not too many appearances, but he has had a long minor league career.
Haas with a base hit. His first time to the plate, takes a strike. I mean, that is an easy 98. Swinging a foul. Haas down to the count, 1-2. Two and two on Haas.
Amazing, that kind of stuff. And he's only got 8 appearances in the big leagues.
Crazy.
Rockies, Twins. Not a whole lot of opportunity.
Haas off the end of the bat. And it'll find greenery. Base hit for Haas. He drives in a run. 99 off the end of the bat for a knock and an RBI.
He's got that stroke down, doesn't he? That right field stroke. Both hits coming to right field. This time a 2-out RBI.
Just a nice job by Eric Haas protecting the plate right there with 2 strikes. The big velo doesn't try to do too much with it. Kind of quiets down that lower half and shoots the hands the other way for a knock.
Identical pitches for both of his hits.
Yeah.
Turns the lineup back over to Sal Frelick with 2 away. Takes a 2-out knock to bring home Owen Miller, who led off with a triple.
Haas has been a guy that's struck out a lot in his career. 29% strikeout rate guy. That is way up above league average. That's a good sign, getting a couple 2-out hit or 2-strike hits.
Two 2-0 on Frelick. Tries to dump one down the left field line. Foul, though, just past the target.
A little bit of life on that fastball. 2-0 count. Frelick looking fastball. 98. Jammed him.
Not a cloud in the sky. Fouled again. That one 98. Frelick, his first couple of appearances in the spring were at third base. He's played in the outfield ever since. Struck him out, pulled the string on a 91-mile-an-hour changeup. Frelick strikes out for his second time. Brewers get one more. It's 7-2 at the end of 4. to you by Habish and Rotier, personal injury attorneys, national reputation, hometown service. And by Wisconsin State Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. 4 short hours to the north from Phoenix, Grand Canyon. 7-2 Dodgers. Top half of inning number 5. Another new pitcher coming on for Pat Murphy and the Brewers. It's left-hander Brian Hudson.
Yeah, 2 different seasons. Partial time with the Dodgers. Left-hander, 6'8", 220 pounds. Yeeks.
Tied for the tallest pitcher in Brewers franchise history.
You said that the other day, Jeff, and
you're still finding it hard to believe.
Well, Graham Lloyd. I remember Graham Lloyd, the Aussie.
Yeah, big guy.
He was only 6'8". Jeff would know. Jeff knows all.
You can look it up.
Graham Lloyd, 6'8".
Okay.
Tied. That's what I said.
Right.
Tied. I didn't say he was the biggest.
You got to be careful looking at these computers. I'm talking about Juan Murillo.
Yeah.
And there was 3 different Juan Murillos. I was talking about the wrong one. My apologies. I take it all back.
That's okay. I was not about ready to say anything. I will say that this Juan Murillo was in Rancho Cucamonga last year. I can tell you all about Jack Benny Drive if you'd like. 3-1 to Austin Barnes is a strike.
Well, just throw something at me and just kind of, you know, say stop.
It's okay, Rock.
Juan Murillo.
Don't let the details get in the way of a good
3 different
story.
Juan Murillos. Never did pitch for the Twins.
Hudson's 3-2 misses outside. Barnes draws a leadoff walk. He might pitch for the Twins at some point. The book is not closed.
It's only 25 actually. So if Hudson's tied for the tallest Brewer ever, who is the shortest Brewer ever?
How about Clayton Andrews?
Mike Potts.
Mike Potts?
Remember Mike Potts? Got to go back a ways.
Sounds like a good research project for Dom Catronio, our stats man. He'll have it in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Owings fouls another one away.
Yeah, the Brewers are expecting big things out of, no pun intended, big things out of Brian Hudson here. They acquired him from the Dodgers when the Dodgers signed Yamamoto because there is such a crunch on their 40-man roster. They're just filled with talent on their 40-man that this kid, Brian Hudson, was expendable.
Strikes out Owings. Nice breaking ball from Hudson. 1 gone. Runner still at first for Miguel Vargas. Look at this breaking ball.
A sharp breaking ball from the left side, coming out of the same window as that fastball that's got some deception to it. This little sweeping breaking ball to the back door.
That started about 1.5 foot outside. Looked like anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so big, it feels like he's handing the baseball to the catcher.
Well, the other thing that makes him so deceptive is he's got that wide and low release, but still keeps his hand on the baseball. It's not that on top of the baseball and behind it. So it gets that ride, even though he's got that low release.
That one's ripped down the left field line by Vargas. He has had a great day at the plate, adding to it with an extra base hit. He has singled, homered, and now doubled. Miguel Vargas.
Yeah, keep your hand on top of that baseball. You get a little tilt with that breaking ball, right? I mean, if you have it off to the side, it's just kind of flat, kind of a roundhouse breaking pitch. Got to get that depth to get that ground ball.
Right. And then it gives you some ride and some backspin on that fastball. Makes that pitch a little more deceptive coming into the hitter.
Infield comes halfway for the Brewers, and that one is down and in on Ramos. Dom coming up with our trivia answer. We have the tallest players. How about the shortest players?
Yeah, Clayton Andrews, Danny Herrera, 5'6".
Danny Herrera, this team in 2011. Clayton Andrews on the club last year for a couple of appearances.
Both left-handed relievers. I remember Danny Herrera. We called him the Hat because it looked like he was just a hat on the mound.
The hat. Very nice.
He was nasty, though.
How did he take that? Did he like that?
Loved it.
Loved it.
And you're in the big leagues, you can do whatever. Was that the minor league nickname?
It was the minor league nickname for him.
The Hat.
he had a Ephus pitch changeup. It was nasty. Could not stay back on it.
And you caught him, right?
I caught him. I faced him as well. He was with Louisville at one point in AAA, I believe.
2-1 on Ramos. Liner foul. It's got to be such a contrast when you face a guy like Hudson who's 6'8", and then the next guy comes in, he's a foot shorter. Right? You're looking at different arm angles.
Right.
Pick out a spot, focus on it. Got him. Fastball in the inside corner at 93. 2 Ks for Hudson.
Yeah, nice pitch. That one coming all the way across home plate. Looked like an arm angle. Started on the outside corner. Look where it ends up.
That's an important pitch for a guy like Brian Hudson, right? To be able to angle that pitch in, especially as he steps across his body with his delivery and then angles that into a righty. Really good pitch.
2 outs, 2 on for Padlo. Takes a strike.
Dangerous pitch, though. If you don't leave that, if you don't get it in enough.
That's right.
Ends up right down the middle.
Razor thin margin for error. Padlo, a couple of Ks. To the left side, Dunn. The second hop throws him out. Hudson got into some hot water, gets himself out of it. Halfway home from American Family Fields of Phoenix. 7-2 Dodgers. To lead it off in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brewers trailing the Dodgers by a nickel, 7-2. Take a look at our Wisconsin Lottery Powerball home run count. 17 homers a year ago for William Contreras, winning the Silver Slugger for the catching position. 38 doubles to go along with it. You cannot say enough good things about what William Contreras did in year number 1 in a Brewers uniform. Joe Kelly on for the Dodgers. Ground ball to short. 2 hops to Lux. And a wide throw, and able to get back on the bag was a first baseman, Padlo. Joe Kelly wearing the Wild Things number for L.A.
He came over to L.A. from Chicago at the trade deadline last year along with Lance Lynn, and he pitched better than those numbers say he pitched last year once he got over to L.A. 10 1/3 innings He had a 1.74 ERA with the Dodgers.
And he's bounced around quite a bit, right? Cardinals, Red Sox, Dodgers, White Sox, now back to the Dodgers.
He signed a big deal to go to Chicago.
Nasty curve.
He has always had electric stuff. Walks were a big issue for him early on in his career, but since he got into the bullpen and really once he got to LA is really when he took off.
Were you in Pawtucket with him?
I was actually in Springfield, Missouri with him in Double-A when he first started his career.
Yeah, drafted by the Cardinals, correct?
Yep. Drafted by the Cardinals as a starter. Part of their World Series team in 2013. Didn't win the World Series, but got there. That one's down.
He drafted in 09, got to the big leagues in 12.
Traded to Boston with Alan Craig. It's a good name for your immaculate grid if you want. 3-2's down and in. And Oliver Dunn reaches. One out walk.
Age 36 season this season will be, and he's still struggling with the walks. Last year, a bunch of walks. 18 of them. 30 in a third innings.
Just 42 appearances for Joe Kelly a season ago.
And that really is a killer when you're coming out of the bullpen.
That one off the tip of the glove of Lux. It'll be a base hit for Weimer. Turned around 95.
Seems like Lux a little rusty out there, right? I mean, missed a lot of the year last year, and he seems to be fighting it a little bit.
That's a good swing by Joey Weimer. That's exactly where he needs to be. Rocky talked about him not drifting forward. He stayed centered right there. Minimal movement with the lower half, and hands went direct A to B.
Stay back, throw the hands.
Yep.
And Jackson Chourio gets a crack at Joe Kelly. Chourio 0 for 2. Drops a breaking ball. Ball and a strike on Chourio.
Yeah, it's 4 sliders now to Chourio out of the last 5 pitches he's seen. The young kid's going to have to prove he can hit it before they stop throwing it.
Gets another one.
They will exploit any type of weakness that you show. Once he starts hitting that, then maybe they'll give him something he likes.
High breaking ball for a strike. 2-2. Chourio thought it was up. Entire dugout thought it was up.
Key for Jackson Chourio this year is to not put too much pressure on himself. Easier said than done, guys.
Threw him another breaking ball, struck him out.
Especially with a guy coming in with so many expectations, right? I mean, the ceiling is so high for him, and to try and live up to that, and he's going to have to really manage that. And that's a good slider. Look at the way that ball tilts as it goes down, not just going across, but down.
Teammate Christian Yelich, I thought, said some really good things about Jackson Chourio with all the expectations that are on him. You know, Yelich has lived that life. As Owen Miller hits one in the air down the right field line and hits off the warning track foul. But Yelich said, listen, we know he's good. He wouldn't be here. He wouldn't get that contract if he wasn't good. But I think we just need to exercise a little bit of patience and let him be who he is.
That's a really good point. Yeah, and Murph talked about how important that Yelich has been to the young players on this roster. A little bit of an unsung leader in that clubhouse, and that's a great point by Christian Yelich. He's got to be who he is, be himself, just get settled in.
And he's got to be able to, you know, handle failure a little bit. I mean, throughout his minor league career, he hadn't had a whole lot of failure. Right. There's going to be failure at the big league level, no doubt about that.
That's the thing. Once you experience your first bit of failure, how do you respond to it? That's right. I mean, that's key number one for anybody coming through. Well, the Brewers have a ton of faith in Jackson Chourio. Wouldn't have given him the $82 million contract otherwise. 2-1 on Owen Miller. Tripled his last time. And he hits a liner to Lux. One Wisconsin native dives and takes a knock away from another Wisconsin native. And a good look from Owen Miller right there. Gavin Lux. Oh, come on, man. Everybody needs knocks.
And stream 250+ spring training games and every out-of-market game live or on demand. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
I tell you what, we are multi-talented because not only are we calling the game, but we are also fashion models in between innings. How about this? Great-looking shirts. Aloha, mahalo.
I mean, yeah, I stole your hat. I like this hat better than that one. I have one of those.
So I can't have that one back?
You can have it back if you really want it, but how about this? Huh?
That's a great looking shirt on you, Rock.
Shirt.
Yeah.
This is a good shirt, too.
That was a quick wardrobe change by us, too.
Yeah, we'll see how this works out in between innings, too. We got Superhero Bernie. We got tumblers. Baseball's all available at the team store at American Family Fields of Phoenix, as well as in Milwaukee.
Baseball bats, little mini bats.
I was worried about the mini bat this half inning and seeing where it would go. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Someone getting out of line. Rock is the enforcer up here.
Rock would never. Would he?
I don't know.
I would not.
The Grand Poobah of fantasy camp?
Yeah.
I think you should bring that to fantasy camp.
Are you going this year, Jeff?
We'll see. TBD.
We were talking about it this morning, right?
We were having some initial conversations.
You and your dad?
Potentially. Now I can't surprise him for his birthday if he's watching.
He's not watching.
No, he asked me last summer if he could come in. He wants to umpire. He doesn't want to play.
No, he does not want. He's out on play.
He wants to umpire. Yeah. Don't lay that on me, ruining the surprise.
Well, I don't think he's watching. Hudson locks up Lux to open up the inning. Have a pinch hitter for LA.
Anyway, this is a great hat with the cactus.
I love it.
You can have it back.
Saguaro cactus, correct? Is that what it's called?
Saguaro.
Soft G.
The G is silent.
I should know that.
Yes, you should. Come on, Vinny.
It's a great looking hat.
Stuff for everybody. Every Brewers fan. Shirts, hats, Cupid dolls, whatever.
I brought Kate to the ballpark today.
Yeah.
Wife. Loaded up down in the team store.
Yeah, she's got 3 bags with her.
I think I'm going to break even today.
How are you breaking even?
Yeah, well.
Her happiness outweighs all. That's what matters.
Oh, no doubt. That's why I don't mind breaking even.
Hunter Fatusha is the batter for the Dodgers. Takes a called third strike. Back-to-back Ks for Brian Hudson. He looks sharp.
That second inning of work, he snaps off a Hard breaking ball, sweeper right here, right on the corner. Good job from Haas, keeping that one in the zone.
Look at the way he brought it up a little bit. Boy, he's got to be really tough against lefties. That arm angle, kind of Mitch Stetter-ish.
Yeah.
Great call.
Good comp. Mitch Stetter, one of my good friends, played with him.
Hudson will be assessed a pitch timer violation. Stepped off the mound, and I don't think he was too concerned about picking up ball 1. Didn't seem to affect him very much. That one slapped foul by Outman, and a big 3-run homer in the 4th off of Pyops. 2 for 2 with a walk, couple of stolen bases. Big day.
Yeah, showing exactly why he was voted 3rd in the National League Rookie of the Year voting. James Outman.
Foul back, ends up in the executive suite. Here's the 4th inning. That was a 3-0 pitch.
Leaned on that one, didn't he?
Middle end, didn't do much. Just a get me over fastball that he hit a ton.
Outman just able to get a piece of it.
Yeah, like you said, Rock, tough on lefties. See how late that Outman is swinging. He's clearly not picking the baseball up real early out of the hand of Brian Hudson.
Two and 2 on Outman.
It's got to be tough to hit a pitch that starts behind your back.
Right.
You know,
seriously.
Just the tendency is to open that front shoulder up, and that really opens up the outside corner for a pitcher.
Just cannot be afraid to get jammed in this game. So much easier said than done, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's kind of an ego thing, right?
Right.
You don't want somebody sawing you off, but the old adage is, there's more hits on the handle of the bat than on the end.
That's right. Damian Miller used to say that all the time. There's a lot of money over there, he would say. Little bloops to the opposite field.
A lot of bone bruises on that thumb, too.
Yeah.
Both thumbs. Being a catcher, you got bone bruise on your left thumb, and then on your right thumb as a right-handed hitter.
Right.
Tough to hold on to the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Outman gets it down the right field line. An extra base hit for Outman. That's a big league at bat against a tough lefty.
Tried to drop that breaking ball on him. I think he left it out over the plate just a little bit. Supposed to be away. Look where it ends up, middle in. That's why he was able to get the big part of the bat on it. Nice short stroke by Outman. And out of the reach of Owen Miller.
Yeah, you could tell he was almost sitting on that breaking ball the whole at bat, the way he was swinging at the fastballs and how late he was. He said, Jeff, big league at bat right there.
Quick meeting at the mound. That is Noah Miller running at second base, the brother of Brewers first baseman Owen Miller. Noah traded over in the Manuel Margot deal to come over to LA. So you got a pair of brothers from Wisconsin on the field at the same time.
Nice.
Taylor at the plate. First one from Hudson. Is a strike. Oh, I should say a ball. Let's check in with Sophia's got more on the brothers Miller.
Yeah, Noah just got traded over to the Dodgers, as you said, Jeff, from the Minnesota Twins. He was drafted in 2021. He's worked his way up the minor league system. So I was talking to Owen during BP today, and he said he actually went and picked up Noah from the airport after the trade. And it's been great to have him here the last couple of days. They've never shared a spring training together, obviously, with Noah having spent the last couple spring trainings in Florida. So as a spring training tradition, right, no better welcome to Arizona than taking your little brother to In-N-Out Burger for the first time. So that's what Owen and Noah did last night, and he was excited just to have him over here, be on the field with him for the first time. Their parents, Tom and Rose, obviously home watching. They're coming down soon, so best of both worlds for them. Now they get to watch both boys here in the Cactus League.
Oh, it's so great. One flight down to the Metroplex in Phoenix and see both your boys play in spring training. That's great. 2-1, Brian Hudson Gets a strike, and it's 2-2. I wonder what the in and out order was for a rookie. What do you do first time?
I mean, it's kind of limited what you can order, isn't it?
Oh, they have a secret menu.
Maybe 2 or 3 burgers each. You know, growing boys.
A couple double doubles. Animal style?
Yeah.
No, traditional.
Traditional, not animal
Raw
style.
onions.
3-2 on Chris Taylor.
How about the talent though coming out of Wisconsin though? There's 3 kids from southeastern Wisconsin that are playing in this Major League Spring Training game right now. Gavin Lux and then the Miller brothers.
Yeah.
Incredible. All played for the Racine Hitters program back home.
3-2 on Taylor, and he struck him out. Very good representation of baseball at the amateur level from the great state of Wisconsin. Hudson ends up striking out 3 in the inning. 7-2 LA.
Brewers 7-2 as we watch the sausage race go on. Come on, Italian. What's going on here? Camp Hometown Heroes heals hearts and builds bonds for the children of fallen military. To learn more, visit camphometownheroes.org.
Great job, Vinny. Polish takes it today.
So the Polish looks just like the hot dog to me.
Just different shirts, man.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the shirts. Eliezer Hernandez is the new pitcher, former Miami Marlin.
Last season in the minor leagues, a 2.89 ERA. It's had a pretty good run in the big leagues with Miami as Eliezer. Say that right?
Hernandez.
You sure there's only one? I mean.
So I was a former scout, right, for the Texas Rangers, and you want to talk about guys butchering names.
Scouts?
Yes, in the scouting, in the room talking about players, not even close half the time.
Number and initial.
But you all know who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
52, Dodger blue. That's low, ball 4 on Joey Ortiz. Andrew Monasterio was scheduled to hit. It's Brewer Hicklin coming to the plate. Take a look at our Wisconsin Lottery Powerball home run leaderboard from a year ago. Willie Adames led the way with 24. Yelich one away from getting into the 20s. Contreras, Rowdy Tellez, Joey Weimer with Baker's dozen. Brewer Hicklin is the batter. Took over in right field last half inning. And ooh, right over our heads. Almost.
Pretty close.
Good catch on the ricochet, though. Fan of the seats.
Vinny was ready. I know you were legitimately looking to catch that ball, Jeff. I don't think so.
I stood. I was ready.
I flinched. I was underneath the table.
No way I'm catching it.
Our visitors in the booth just got up from the floor. They were hitting the deck. 1-1 on Brewer Hicklin. Had the go-ahead homer yesterday and whistles a base hit into left center. Stopping at second is Ortiz.
And that ball was smoked. Talk about squaring one up, Vinny. That ball knuckled out there. Look where that pitch was. Wasn't even a strike, a breaking pitch in on him. Big, strong right-handed hitter. A bullet into center.
There's a backup breaking ball from Hernandez. Brewer Hicklin does a nice job right there of pulling the hands in.
Eric Haas 2 for 2. A couple of singles to right. Has driven in a run. And takes high. Seven hits for Milwaukee. Just one extra base hit, the triple by Owen Miller. Couple of homers hit by the Dodgers. Miguel Vargas and James Outman both in the fourth inning off of Yoel Piops. Busted bat right side and caught. Infield fly was called for.
Tries to pull the hands in, does Haas, just gets jammed. Hernandez got a little bit of a deceptive fastball, got in on Haas right there.
Looked like Haas really trying to concentrate on hitting the ball to right field. That was a ball normally you'd think about pulling. Pulled the hands in, got jammed.
You're talking about last half inning, how hard it is to hit these days, but you can't be afraid to get jammed.
Yeah. If you are afraid to get jammed, you will not hit. You will start to get pull conscious, and your bat actually slows down. Get longer with the swing, kind of muscle up a little bit, get tense. Tension is the killer of swings. So much quicker and shorter to the ball when you're loose and you're thinking middle opposite field.
Yep, look away, use the hands and react inside.
Yep.
Of course, when they're throwing 100 miles an hour, it's tough to react inside.
Yeah.
But it's awfully difficult a lot of times for pitchers to pitch effectively inside. Either in off the plate, out over the plate.
Frelick fouls it away.
Of course, when you're throwing 100, it doesn't matter really where it is, does it?
Right.
Right down the middle is effective.
That's why hitters nowadays are being taught to look in location, look in zone. I know that hitters have always been taught that, but really stressing that now and take anything that's not in that area that you're looking for.
There's base hit to left for Sal Frelick. They're going to wave the runner around. Ortiz trying to score. He will. Run scoring single for Sal Frelick.
That's about as nice a swing as you can put on a baseball right there. Pulled the hands in, shot it into left field. A base hit to drive in a run. Check it out. That pitch inside, it's leaking out down the middle of the plate. But he's thinking left field the whole way. It's a nice swing, good balance. Line drive to left.
Good job by Sal Frelick right there for sure. Again, there's a theme here, not trying to do too much, not trying to pull that pitch.
We discussed it a couple of days ago, guys, about the Brewers and their lack of power a season ago. Only 165 homers, their fewest in a season in a long time. But there are a lot more ways to score runs, and Pat Murphy said it a couple of days ago. He said, listen, we have to find different ways to score runs because you just can't rely on homers. That is not sustainable over the course of a season.
Well, they started scoring runs after the trade deadline last year.
Right up the silo. Infield fly called for again, and the second out.
There was no soft spots in the lineup after the trade deadline. Mark Canha, Carlos Santana came over. I mean, up and down the lineup, quality at bat after quality at bat. Murph talked about it. You have to be able and willing to pass the baton to the next guy. That will keep you from swinging at that 2-0 pitch that's off the plate, trying to do it all yourself. Take that pitch, get to 3-0, maybe walk, hand it to the next guy. That's what the Brewers were so good at in the second half last year.
Yeah, keep the line moving.
A lot of the messaging from Murph is just Be a good teammate.
Yeah.
Right. Don't have to do it all by yourself. Rely on your teammates. Have faith in your teammates so that they can get the job done behind you. Hernandez takes a tight strike.
Yeah, you're really not doing your team any favors by swinging the pitches out of the zone, whether by design, on purpose, or just get fooled. But yeah, leave it up to the guy behind you.
And think about the pressure that puts on the pitcher for the next guy as well. Get into good hitters counts over and over again. Have guys on base consistently. Puts a ton of pressure on the pitcher.
Hernandez trying to fight his way through. The Brewers are back on the board. Single tallies, the third, the fourth, and now the sixth. Hernandez fouls it away. Yanni Hernandez against Eliezer Hernandez.
And, you know, talking about keeping the pressure on the pitcher, it's even more important now with a pitch clock.
Yeah.
Because pitchers can't step off the mound, walk around, you know, take a breather, think about things. They got to keep going.
That's a great point.
That's low. It felt that pitchers got tired faster as the season went on last year too. And once that snowball kept going down the mountain, I mean, it turned into an avalanche fast.
Yeah. That's why I saw so many big innings, you know, last year.
That's right. The Brewers had a ton of big innings last year, especially again after that trade deadline.
Hernandez trying to keep this inning going. 2-2. Ground ball left side, gobbled up, and go across the diamond and get the final out of the inning. Brewers get one on the run scoring single from Sal Frelick, chipping away. 7-3 as we go to the seventh. (7-3) Dodgers. Top of the seventh inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority the Milwaukee Brewers may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. Beautiful day for a hike outside. It's funny, that's actually Rock's backyard. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
7-3 Dodgers. Let's check downstairs. Sophia Minnaert standing by with Joey Ortiz.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, great to see Aaron Ashby on the mound here as we get this inning underway, and joined by one of the newest Brewers, Joey Ortiz. Welcome to the Brewers, being acquired in the trade for Corbin Burnes, the Baltimore Orioles. You've spent a couple years in the minor leagues now after being drafted in 2019. You got 15 games in the big leagues last year with Baltimore. To get your debut, to get those games under your belt, just what did you take away from that experience?
Honestly, I don't even know, because I was so anxious and so nervous up there that kind of black out. But it's just learning how to compete at that level, understanding that I can play at that level, and just trusting my ability.
And you got starts across the infield, second base, third base, shortstop. That's where we saw you today. To move around the infield like that, how much confidence does that give you, Joey?
Good. I mean, it shows that they trust in my glove to be able to play anywhere, and I take pride in playing defense, and I always let them know that I can play anywhere, and it won't affect me.
Yeah. We've heard a lot about your defense, specifically your hands. That's what Pat Murphy said is your best tool defensively. Is that something that's just instincts for you, Joey? How much time have you spent on your defense to make that such a big part of your game?
I spent a lot of time in college with my college coach, and then coming up through the minor leagues. It's just a lot of work put in, and you know, it's nice to see the fruition of it, you know, on the field.
How excited are you to have this opportunity here with the Brewers to work with Willy Adames along Bryce Terang? I know you're getting to know everybody here these first couple weeks of camp.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I used to watch Willy all the time. I've watched him his whole career, and coming up to the minor leagues, he's one of the guys who I, try and play the game like, and seeing Bryce as well is two good infielders and two people to learn from, so I'm excited to work with them.
You came over in the trade with DL Hall. We're going to get a look at him tomorrow when he makes his Cactus League debut. We've heard a lot about the stuff. What can you tell us about DL Hall and the pitcher that he is?
It's electric. He's got a good fastball. He's a good competitor, gamer. He likes to bring it for sure.
Well, you brought it. You had a huge homer against the Rangers the other day against Jose Leclerc, and you said that was maybe the purest you've ever hit a baseball. Tell me about that homer.
I don't know. He just left the cutter middle in, and I was able to get the barrel to it. And like I said, I usually black out when stuff like that happens, so I don't remember what I did after that. But it was one of the best balls I've ever hit in my career. So.
Well, that's a good way to make a good first impression with a new team.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Joey. Well, thank you so much for the time, and again, welcome to the Brewers.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Jeff?
Thanks so much, Sophia. Joey Ortiz, I mean, every time someone talks about Joey Ortiz, they're just so complimentary of his work ethic and especially his defensive abilities. That one down and in. Haas can't find it. And coming down the line to score is Austin Barnes. Ortiz is going to be a good one for a long time.
I mean, you can tell that he, even watching some of the video from last year when he was in the big leagues with the Baltimore Orioles, and he even admitted he was a little bit nervous last year. You can tell he's still not totally comfortable here yet. And he still playing really well, right? So that's a testament to once he gets comfortable, we're in for a treat to watch Joey Ortiz play baseball once he gets acclimated to the big league level, once he feels comfortable.
Two very talented young players the Brewers got for Corbin Burns, as well they should.
Yeah.
Based on how, Corbin Burns, I mean, the way he has been pitching over the last many years. But yeah, I mean, DL Hall, it's going to be fun watching him. I mean, he's got an electric arm, a left-hander. And then Cruz, I mean, he's got all the abilities. I mean, he could play anywhere in the infield. And as you can see, when he hit that home run off of Leclerc, I mean, he's got enough power, to stick around in the big leagues.
Got a high draft pick from Baltimore to go along with it. So a 3-for-1 essentially. Aaron Ashby running into some trouble in this 7th inning. Runners take off. Only one continues on. Chris Owings will steal third base. The backside runner, Miguel Vargas, stayed put. Nothing has been hit out of the infield in this inning against Aaron Ashby, and that feels like what happened the entire season in 2022 against Ashby.
Bad luck. That's all you can say about, his season. Just bad luck. Bad things happen.
I mean, he was 2-10 in 2022. But his ERA was 4.44. That's not bad. That's not what a 2-10 record ERA should look like.
And some of that ERA was ballooned by some just a couple of big innings, some big home runs that he gave up. But otherwise, he was nasty. Tons of ground balls with strikeout stuff. That's a very rare combination to have. Good looking Aaron Ashby right now, 93-94 with the fastball, and that is a really good sign. Last year he really couldn't get that velocity back once he was coming back from that shoulder surgery. He's looking strong right now.
Drops a breaking ball on Ramos to strike him out.
Yeah, that's the pitch right there. He's going to have to be able to get that back to where it was before he injured himself. That slider, nasty pitch. Kind of cross between a curveball and a slider, that pitch is, and he had a lot of success with that early on.
He also mixes in that changeup as well. He's got the repertoire to definitely be a successful starter in the big leagues. He's got to be able to stay healthy and be in the zone consistently.
And for Ashby, who's making his Cactus League debut today, his role not necessarily defined for what it will be moving forward for the Brewers. Starter, reliever. He's been that swing man in the past and has had success in both roles.
Yeah, a couple of arms that could certainly serve as the bullpen arms in Ashby and in Jacob Junis, who they signed to a one-year deal as well.
Runner goes. They've got it picked off. Miller throws to second base. Not in time. The throw on the infield side of second. Despite getting picked off, Vargas able to get into the base.
Yeah, couldn't really throw it right to the bag because he would have hit the runner right in the back. But once you get picked off like that, just keep going. Takes two good throws to get you.
That's where being a left-handed throwing first baseman has such an advantage.
Right.
Infield up. Padlo takes in 95 on the fastball from Ashby.
We saw him throwing a sim game on the backfields as well the other day. Looked very similar to what he's looking like right now in terms of velocity, in terms of crispness of his pitches as well. That sinker, you can see that movement on the sinker from Ashby. We're seeing that here.
Foul back. That was the big breaking ball from Ashby. It's so great to see him back on the mound after missing an entire season with a shoulder injury. But in terms of shoulder surgeries, he had the best possible one he could have had, just a cleanup in there. And fouled away.
It's amazing what they can do these days, right? I mean, injuries that, 15, 20 years ago had ended careers. They don't miss that much time.
Another 2-2 pitch. Fouled again by Padlo.
Hi, Ash.
Take a look at his delivery here. Watch the arm action. Gets it up on time. Sometimes in the past he would really pull off with that front side and with that head. Looks to be synced up right now.
Padlo out to deep left center. And this one headed towards the berm and over the berm. Kevin Padlo, big 3-run homer for LA. There's some breeze up there, but that one didn't need much help.
Yeah, that was a bomb. Oh, what an at bat for Padlo. It took him a while. Fought off some tough pitches and got a fastball and did not miss it.
8th pitch of the at bat. That one did not sink. Just talked about Ashby needing that sinker. That was a straight fastball, 4-seamer right down the middle. And like you said, Rock, Padlo does not miss that. Wow.
Oh, look out. Travis Swaggerty gets hit right in the helmet on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Dave Roberts, head athletic trainer, out to check on Travis Swaggerty. Oh my goodness, thank goodness for that C flap that a lot of those hitters are starting to wear.
Yeah, that ear flap. And that one, no chance to get out of the way of that. Yikes.
94 right at his head.
Back in the day when they just had the ear flap that would come down and protect your ear, that one was headed right for his chin, and that C flap that is attached to most hitters' helmets these days, that just saved Swaggerty.
Those helmets are designed these days to take some impact, not like the ones in the past that were just a round piece of plastic. Those are designed ergonomically, that's the right word, to take an impact.
Well, that's going to be it for Ashby. New pitcher coming in for the Brewers. Swaggerty will leave the game. Pinch runner coming in for him. It's 11-3 LA in the 7th. Travis Swaggerty continues to be looked at in that Dodger dugout. Good news, he was able to get off under his own power, get into the dugout, and precautionary members for him to exit the ball game. Right, Middendorf takes over for the Brewers on the mound.
Yeah, Middendorf 57 1/3 innings last year. Did give up the 68 hits, 57 punch outs, 18 walks. So he throws strikes, got a low 3/4 delivery, fastball sweeper.
Comes in with a runner at first. That's pinch runner Freeland. And the first pitch to Fiducia misses down and in. Hunter Fiducia, who took over as the DH in the 6th. That's a strike.
This guy looks like he has pretty good sink on his fastball. Get that ball down a little bit, get a grounder, get out of this inning.
Sanchez.
And you can give up a lot of hits if you're not walking guys, which he does not.
Caught the inside corner, 1-2. Well, for Aaron Ashby, getting his work in, not the way that he wanted to end his appearance, giving up a big 3-run homer and then hitting a batter in the helmet. A lot of spring training left. And it's fouled away.
Yeah, better days ahead for Aaron Ashby. Again, the good news is the way the stuff was coming out of the hand was there. I mean, he got a ground ball double play, wasn't turned, actually no outs recorded. So I mean, a bit better outing than looks like on paper for Aaron Ashby.
Yeah, the leadoff hitter was an infield hit to second base.
Swing and a miss. Middendorf gets Fiducia.
I think the key for Aaron Ashby is just getting his stuff back and feeling good after he gets off the mound and get that confidence that he can throw 95 miles an hour again.
Right. I mean, we saw him all the way up to what, 97 at times a couple of years ago.
Even 99 at times. I mean, massive velocity with sink. Special.
A little bit of that right now might be in his head. You know, not really wanting to let her fly and let her go. Not at this point.
That'll come.
Yes, it will.
Right now. Still have
Didn't have a time.
Guys, anybody experiencing any technical difficulties? Certainly continuing to work on that. Great day to hang out on the berm. Make sure you got your sunscreen. Plenty of cotton candy, shaved ice, pom-poms. Whatever you need to enjoy the ball game, we got it for you. American Family Fields of Phoenix.
What's your go-to snack at the ballpark, Jeff?
Kettle corn right there.
Outstanding.
Love me some popcorn.
What about brat, hot dog?
I would go brat over hot dog. Me too. John Rooney is the new pitcher for LA. Joey Weimer swings and misses. Rock, what about you? Ballpark favorite?
It's hard to tell. I mean, I like them all.
Yeah.
But kettle corn is something I would bring home.
Tough to settle on just one, right?
You know, popcorn is not exactly the greatest thing to eat during a broadcast.
Yeah.
Caught in your throat.
Yeah.
What are you munching on over there right now? Some pretzels?
I got some peanut butter filled pretzels from Beth.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Oh, Jeff, you're a beauty.
I know. Mid-season form. I'm sorry. Weimer fouled that one off his front foot. I would venture to say that the peanut butter pretzel is my favorite snack of all, not just at the ballpark, but just
seriously
overall. Yeah.
Or take the pretzel rod at home and dip it into the peanut butter.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
No way.
Weimer swings and misses Rooney with a nice-looking breaking ball out number one.
You're not into that, Vinny?
Well, I mean, they're fine. I'm not going superlative best ever snack.
It's
a peanut butter pretzel?
I agree with that.
Okay.
It's very subjective to me. That's what I'm saying.
It's simple.
Fair enough.
Dip a pretzel rod into peanut butter, and how much easier can it be?
Pretzel and cheese. Better than peanut butter.
For you, maybe. Churro. That's a foul ball. Third base umpire came in, called it foul. I mean, Vinny, we're just getting. I think you don't want to talk about food because we're in your feeding window now.
Wait.
You're ready to crush.
You want some peanut butter filled pretzels?
I don't know what I'm. No, thank you. I don't know what I'm going to do because I got to rush to the airport after this game.
Snacks to go.
I got some snacks.
Down and in on Churro. Still doing the intermittent fasting.
I am. Yeah. Yeah, I eat from about 3 to 9, and I absolutely just destroy food in that window.
Give myself a 6-hour window.
Yep.
And thoughts and prayers to anything that gets in front of me. That's a bullet. Second baseman knocks it down and throws out Churio. A glimpse of his abilities.
Yeah, it's a good-looking swing right there from Jackson. That's exactly where he needs to be. Focus on that opposite field. Got the quick enough hands to be able to react inside. Hitless now his last couple of games.
Just has to settle in a little bit.
Yeah.
Got off to a good start.
Owen Miller takes a strike. Miller waits, swings and misses. That's some good stuff from John Rooney. 0-2 on Miller, 11-3. Los Angeles in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, Rooney's got some good stuff. 2.86 ERA last year between two levels, Tulsa and Oklahoma City. Big, tall lefty.
0-2 pitch. This is low.
The guy went to Hofstra University. Not too many big leaguers out of that college.
What's the mascot for Hofstra?
Don't know. I don't know Hofstra. You got that one? You were hoping I knew it, right?
Yeah, I don't know these mascots like you do.
Well, that's the minor leagues, right? Jeff, you know the minor league mascots?
Most of them, yeah, but they're changing on a dime.
Lug nuts, all those things.
That's Lansing, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to go nuts. The Hofstra Pride.
Okay.
What Dom just let me know. 2-2, swing and a miss. Ball is dropped by the catcher Oki, but corrals and throws him out. A couple of Ks and a clean 7th for John Rooney. 8th inning on the way. It is 11-3 Los Angeles. Top of the 8th inning. Dodgers out in front of the Brewers. Slew of changes coming on for Milwaukee, including one of the top pitching prospects in the organization, Jacob Mizorowski. We get our first opportunity to look at him in a big league spring training game. He is impressive, and we'll describe it for you.
He's got that big fastball, and just a matter of time before he's in the big leagues.
Yeah. Long and lean as Taylor Young leads it off, and the first pitch misses outside, 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, the number 33 prospect in all of baseball, drafted in 2022 in the second round by the Brewers. This is as big of an arm as you are going to see in all of baseball. It's impressive stuff. 100-mile-an-hour fastball, a couple of hard breaking balls, developing his changeup as well. During the future games last year, threw 11 four-seam fastballs, guys, all over 100 miles an hour. Is the talk of the future game.
Here's 2-0. And that is high at 97. Didn't miss by much.
Yeah, just a matter of time for this kid. Watch the way he bounces off that back leg. That's where he gets the power to throw that ball into the triple digits.
Mizorowski behind Young 3-0, and there's a strike. Easy 98. He's going to put some weight on him, too. Long and lean Mizorowski.
Yeah, that's the scary part. He's only 21 years old. Like you said, Jeff, he's going to add some strength to that frame.
There's a strike again. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Trouder Community College, same school as Aaron Ashby.
Becoming a pipeline.
Yeah.
Three and 2 on Taylor Young. Here's the pitch. And the breaking ball misses down and away. That was 89 with the sliders, the first one he had thrown in the sequence. And Young draws a walk. Here's Chris Oakey, the catcher.
That's the main thing that he's got to try to avoid is the walks. 42 walks last year and 71 and a third innings pitched for Mizorowski. All he has to do is be in the zone. He's going to be successful at the big league level.
First taste of a spring training game in the big leagues. Takes the strike to Oakey at 97.
He hasn't been in pro ball that long, 2022. Yeah, but too many walks. He'll be able to command that. He'll get better at that.
Worked his way up to Double-A Biloxi last year. Swinging a foul on a breaking ball by Oakey.
Chris Hook's a big believer in this kid. You better believe that Chris Hook is going to be able to make slight tweaks with him and that delivery to get him on time, get him synced up, and get that release point more consistent.
0-2 on Oakey. Ooh, just missed off that outside corner at 98. The big question for Mizorowski is whether he's going to stay as a starter or go into the bullpen. He's much like what we talked about earlier in the ball game about those young pitchers for the Brewers coming up. Probably starts in the bullpen. They lengthen him out eventually. But he'll start in the minor leagues as long as the Brewers want him to.
Yeah, what you hope is that he can settle into the rotation at some point, but if they need him to impact the big league roster this year, like you said, Jeff, maybe it is out of the bullpen just to get him acclimated, get him comfortable on a big league mound.
Yeah, but he's got to throw strikes.
Yeah.
Can't be walking guys, starter or reliever, but particularly important as a reliever.
Breaking ball drops in there for strike 3, strikes out Oakey. Not the intended location on that breaking ball, but that's the result he wanted.
You talk about room for error with pitchers. When you have the big stuff, you have more room for error. No, he did not hit his spot, but he had enough room for error because he throws 100 miles an hour that breaking ball was able to drop in for a strike.
The old backup slider.
Yep.
Sometimes it works.
You'd love to teach it. Can't teach it.
That's a mistake.
First baseman Theron Lorenzo. And that one's taken high. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lorenzo.
Not only is the velocity in the 97-98 range, but he releases the ball a lot closer to home plate, around 7 feet of extension. That's in the Freddie Peralta territory.
Swing and a miss. We mentioned Hudson at the size that he is of walking the baseball into the mitt, right?
Yeah.
With that extension that Mizorowski gets. Again, almost directly right into the glove. Ooh, 97 right off that inside corner. That's a good-looking pitch.
It's an impossible pitch to get to. Fastball at that velocity inside. As long as he gets that breaking pitch over.
Ready to go again. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away. Swing and a miss. He dropped the curveball on him.
How about that? Oh, yellow hammer right there. Wow. 83 miles an hour, Ron. He can't hit that. Look at this thing, top to bottom. Straight down. That is a really good curveball.
Yeah, when you get a guy that throws this hard with that kind of deception to his delivery and to the fastball with the extension that he gets, and then is able to spin it like that, that is special.
Looks like the old Ben Sheets curveball.
Nasty. You could hear it spin as a hitter.
Yeah.
And then the thump of the catcher's glove as you're watching it. 0-1 on Fernandez. Fernandez takes low the breaking ball. It's 1-1. He's starting to get it dialed in. Great experience for him in his first big league spring training as a non-roster invite. Being around all these big leaguers. Swing and a miss.
But the composure, too, from this kid. I mean, 21 years old, first big league camp.
He gets it and goes. He doesn't mess around, does he?
Doesn't look overwhelmed.
Ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Mizorowski ready to go. Here it is. Got him looking. He dropped a slider, and he strikes out Fernandez. Mizorowski walked the leadoff hitter, punches out Oki, Lorenzo, and then Fernandez. Good looking inning for Mizorowski.
In the bottom of the 8th inning. American Family Fields of
technical difficulties. You can hear us, can't see us. So we'll just continue to describe the game, maybe do a little radio broadcast for you. Just like Vinny and I did on the webcast yesterday. Yeah. How was that experience for you, Vinny?
You know, it's different for sure, but I enjoyed it. Of course, working alongside you, partner.
Thank you. Brock is a seasoned veteran of our webcast. We've had one this year. We've got a couple more on the docket, right?
We've got the night game in Mesa coming up.
Sweet. That's going to be fun.
What's that, like the 12th, something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Vinny Capra is the leadoff man for the Brewers in this bottom of the 8th inning. We can discuss the day prior's events and who wins our epic tussle on the golf course.
That's right. You're coming out.
Capra takes a strike. It's 1-1.
You and Swanee, we got to come up with another.
You guys are playing golf, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for.
You want to come back? You want to come back?
No.
You got to fly back.
Yeah, fly in for the day, Vinny.
It's on the 11th. It's an off day.
No, can't swing.
No,
that.
I can't do it, but I would have liked to play while I was here.
You were working. We were all working. I haven't even picked up my clubs yet.
I played back-to-back days. So
How you feeling?
I didn't think you'd be willing.
Brock's got his game dialed in.
86 yesterday for
Yeah,
Rock.
that's pretty good for me.
3-1 to Capra on the ground to third. Nice scoop on the short hop by the third baseman, Freeland. To throw Capra for out number 1.
My golf game is pretty good if I keep my tee shots out of the desert, which is not an easy thing for me.
Keep the tee shot in play.
Yeah, well, in the fairway or in the rough, but not in the desert. That's the desert you can't. Very unforgiving.
You ever see a rattler out there in the desert looking for your ball?
No.
You won't go looking because of that, or what?
Well, when it gets really hot, I wouldn't go out there, no. But, javelinas are running around out there. You ever seen a javelina? It's a rodent, but it looks like a pig.
Okay. I've never seen one.
Yeah.
Mountain lions, too.
Mountain lions, bobcats.
Yeah. They're fast.
Yeah.
Big paws.
Coyotes.
Yep. Told you, we saw your backyard in one of those bumps back from break. Beautiful landscape.
Scorpions? Are you having issues with scorpions?
No,
back at the house?
Like I said, no, it's early yet. It's not warm enough.
They're still in hibernation. Hickliffe takes a called third strike on the inside corner.
Although the little lizards are starting to pop out, which means any day now, pretty soon you're going to see all that stuff. Scorpions, rattlers.
Nature is starting to
take over
again. Yeah.
Take over.
Yeah.
It's their land.
Right. We're just paying rent. Patrick Dorian is the hitter. 2 outs. Slaps it foul down the left field line. Bottom of the 8th, 11-3, Los Angeles. 3-man booth. I like this 3-man booth. This has been great the last couple of games.
You got to turn Vinny on to the wildlife in the desert.
No, thank you. If I saw a rattler, I'd get on a plane and go home. Those scorpions, they're like black. They're nasty looking.
Yeah.
I've seen one once, way back 15 years ago in spring training.
And to this day, not doing it.
No. I'm out.
It would scare me too. Scorpion. I don't like snakes. I'm like Indiana Jones. I'm fine with spiders, but no snakes.
Yeah, right.
Dorian fouls it back at the 2-ball, 2-strike count. It's really the only. I will hold a snake if it's in front of my children, just for sheer embarrassment factor, just to show them it's okay to conquer your fears. I don't like them. No. Big applause you hear is for the Bat Boy. That's Nick finally getting the appreciation he deserves.
Quite the effort.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Jesse Hahn, who came into the ball game, goes 1-2-3 through the Brewers in the 8th. On our way to the 9th. Scorpions galore. It's 11-3 Dodgers. 11-3, top of the ninth inning. Dodgers out in front of the Brewers. New pitcher coming on for Milwaukee. Right-hander Blake Holub, another hard-throwing right-hander. And Jacob Mizorowski with 3 strikeouts after he walked the first batter he faced. Very impressive in the 8th. Holub, good numbers a year ago.
He came over in the Mark Hanna deal after the Brewers picked up Mark Hanna's option. Then they traded him to Detroit.
Fly ball to center. Trying to track it is Young, and he is having a tough time being able to make the catch. Went down into a catcher's squat to try and get out of the sun.
Fought that one, didn't he? Yeah, well done.
They had no chance to catch that one after he went down into that squat, because how is he going to move laterally or front to back?
Yeah, right away he knew he was in trouble with the sun. Trying to angle, got the glove up, able to make the catch.
Good thing he's got those ski goggles on his face. He's got the eye black plus the ski goggles that these players are wearing these days.
They say you can play outfield here, you can play anywhere. Especially difficult on a day like today.
Chris Aline, the hitter. And a check swing and a breaking ball strike. And it's 0-2. The high sky of Arizona. It's a real thing.
Not a cloud anywhere.
Oh, 2 fouled back. Today would be a good day to be at the driving range. Wind at your back, no clouds. Grip it and rip it. Make you feel a little bit better about your game.
Yeah, ball carries well down here.
Would you drive it, Rock? 250, 275?
No, not that far.
Thought you were going to say, that's too short.
No. But get some roll.
Call third strike on the inside corner from Holub.
Not too much a distance, Vinny. You got to be in the fairway. In desert golf, terrible.
That's a good-looking changeup right there from Holub. At 86.
Good job of making that one look good behind home plate.
Catcher Matthew Wood took over for Haas a couple of innings ago. Alex Freeland is the batter.
You say desert golf's harder than golf back home?
Yes.
Okay.
Very unforgiving.
Yeah.
Desert or links do you prefer? Just curious.
I mean,
the links, you've got the cabbage at the ground ball to first that you have to deal with. Desert, at least you got a shot to find it.
Kind of like whistling straight.
Right. Aaron Hills, some of the greatest golf in America in Wisconsin. It's 11-3 Dodgers as we go to the bottom of the ninth. 11-3 Dodgers. A little Cuban shuffle from the fans in between the innings. Great crowd today at American Family Fields of Phoenix. Dodgers fans, Brewers fans alike. Dodgers cheering a little louder today for their 11 runs on 13 hits, a couple of 3-run homers. Alec Gamboa, the left-hander, deals to Sal Frelick, who's playing the entire way. Started the game in right field and has been at third base for the last few innings. 1-0 on Sal. Wes Clark on deck. Frelick rips one foul. First base side.
Sal really just kind of waiting to get it going with the bat, feeling comfortable with his rhythm up there. Nice base hit earlier in the game to the opposite field. Hopefully that'll get him locked back in with his timing.
Drove in a run. I was back in the 6th inning.
Time of spring where guys are working on stuff, maybe looking at pitches, maybe trying something new and trying to be a little bit more consistent, but it all changes with about 2 weeks left of spring training. It's all about results for them at that point. A lot of guys will come to spring training, maybe first couple of weeks, 10 days, they just concentrate on seeing the baseball, putting good swing on it, not worrying so much about results. Of course, guys like Sal Frelick don't have to worry about results. They know they're going to be on the team. Other guys, not so much.
Right. Scrapping and clawing for hits.
Right.
For some guys trying to make the team.
Do something to catch Pat Murphy's eye.
2-2. Hit towards the shortstop. Noah Miller throws him out. One away in this bottom of the 9th inning brings up Wes Clark. Every little bit counts, right? It could be one at-bat. It could be one play. And we hear the story all the time about Abner Uribe in his first bullpen session and how that manager Craig Counsell was listening to the glove pop and went, okay, where's that coming from?
And lo and behold, it's Abner Uribe that caught his eye and said, well, let's get this guy an opportunity on the big field.
Yeah, you just never know when you're going to get your chance to make an impression on the big league staff. Here's a guy right here, Wes Clark, hit 2 home runs in the first spring training game.
Not cheapies either against the Padres in Peoria. Clark is a big man, and he's in camp, and he's doing a lot of catching too. He's played some first base, so catch. Bat plays. Two-strike pitch, a swing and a miss.
Find a spot for you.
Last chance to extend the game is Yanni Hernandez. Switch hitter will bat from the right side of the plate against Gamboa. And Hernandez fouls it away right side. Appreciate everybody sticking with us. Some technical difficulties. Listening to us, not necessarily seeing us all the time, but now we're back in action. It's up high, 1 ball, 1 strike on Hernandez. Next TV broadcast coming up on the 15th. Get you covered with some Brewers radio and webcasts.
Yeah, that weekend of the 15th, that's a sponsor weekend. That's a fun weekend down here.
Brewers Diamondbacks on March 15th. Be busy. Hernandez sprays one to right to the neighborhood of Ramos. He'll make the catch, and the ball game is over. Dodgers with an 11-3 victory. Fellas, final thoughts.
Well, get your work in. Nobody gets hurt. And we saw Aaron Ashby. We saw Mizorowski. Some good things happening. And Vinny, have a safe trip back to Wisconsin.
Will do. Thanks, guys. It was a blast.
We'll do it again soon, Vinny.
Yeah, we'll see you back in Milwaukee.
Safe travels for Bill Schroeder, Vinny Rotino, Sophia Minards, our entire crew in Maryville. I'm Jeff Levering saying so long again. Next television broadcast coming your way March 15th against the reigning National League champion Arizona Diamondbacks. That's it from American Family Fields of Phoenix. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.